I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. 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 I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check. I want the check.
What's going on, guys? Quentin here. I'm going to be showing you guys the differences between wholesaling real estate and flipping houses. Now, for those who don't know what wholesale real estate is, it's basically putting a property under contract that you're going to carry an interest in a contract that's assignable, and then selling that contract to somebody else. Your typical turnaround time of getting paid in something like this is anywhere between 7 to 21 days on average. As opposed to flipping a house is literally buying a house outright with cash or borrowing to also cover the construction costs, renovating an entire property and then listing it on the market at retail price so that you can potentially make a profit. And we're going to talk about the pros and cons of each individual one, okay? Now, for those who don't know, I'm all about wholesaling real estate. I love wholesaling simply because it puts a quick buck in your pocket and you can scale the crap out of it. Now, I also do flips. I got 3 of them listed on the market right now, and we're barely 4 months into the year. Now, guys, flipping is amazing. I think it is an amazing tool for sure. As a wholesaler, what you do when you wholesale a property is market to find people who are in a situation where you can capitalize on that situation, help the family members out, and make a buck while doing it. Now, as a wholesaler, I don't ever have to buy from a wholesaler to get a deal. So, guys, one of the things that I love about wholesaling is that I get paid anywhere between 7 to 21 days. This is my initial turnaround time for me to make $5,000 to $10,000 on average per house that I do. What I love about wholesaling, guys, is when you understand your contracts, there's less risk involved and there's a high reward dependent on your marketing skills and on your negotiation tactics. Now, know when you get into a flip, you're looking at a 3 to 6 month project. Depending on the severity of the flip, how much work does it need? If it's going to be a flip from the ground up, I know that my guys can knock a flip out in a month, but it depends on what needs to be done. Now, you got to think about the time that it's going to cost for you to buy the property, to renovate the property, and then to list the property on the market. There's a bunch of variables here, right? There's a higher risk, and in my opinion, there's a lower reward. Now, you can make more money. You can definitely make more money flipping, but you have to be careful about what you do. What I love about wholesaling is that I don't have to worry about getting involved in construction. Wholesaling real estate requires zero knowledge on construction. I just need to know what I can possibly sell my property for. Typically, when I'm looking at a house, I'm going to buy it anywhere between 70% of the ARV minus the repairs, and that's going to be my cash offer. Now, depending on what the cash offer is for the property, I can squeeze in my finder's fee, which is my assignment. Doing this requires no knowledge of construction. I just have to know what my paperwork is. Now, what I love about wholesaling real estate is I can do it in volume. Here in San Antonio, Texas, I'm doing anywhere between 10 to 20 deals every single month and averaging $5,000 to $10,000 per property. So do the math on that. We're clearing almost 6 figures a month here, okay? That's in gross revenue. It can be scaled and you can do volume. Now, the thing that I don't like about this is that your volume is limited. If I'm looking at a 3 to 6 month project, if I'm going to do volume, and I've done this before where I've taken on more than I can handle, especially with flips, most I've been able to do in a year is 6 flips in a year. Reason why is because each of these projects took me a substantial amount of time to finish them. Now, when you flip a property, you got to think about some of the things that are going to be involved. Am I going to borrow, right? So what are my lender requirements? I love borrowing to flip. I think it's a way better. I like keeping most of my liquid. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to have money in the bank, I got to leverage my cash. If I'm flipping a property, typically I got to put 3 points down on a loan, and I'm looking at a 9% interest rate, And that's going to be what I'm going to be, that's going to be my upfront costs plus closing costs. For me to play, I'm looking at spending anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 cash. And this is what's called your COOP. That's your cash out of pocket expenses, guys. And that's just to get into the flip. Now, depending on what percentage you bought the property at, you may have some wiggle room to use that money that you're borrowing to cover some of the construction costs, guys. Now, to do this, no, in most cases, unless you're a private money raising badass, credit is required. Credit is required for you to borrow money, guys. You either have to have the portfolio to borrow, or you have to have the credit to back up what you got. And you got to show that you've done this stuff before, because if anybody's going to lend you money, imagine me, like if you're watching this, you never flipped a house before. Can you sell me on lending you the money to flip the house? If you don't, if your answer, you already question it in your mind, that you don't have a portfolio to borrow with, then, you know, I doubt I'm going to lend you the money, because I want to lend my money to somebody who has the credibility that shows that you can do this stuff. What I love about wholesaling, guys, is there's less money out of pocket. The most money I ever put up, and this number may be a shocker for some of you guys, is $10. $10, and I have the potential to make $5,000 to $10,000. What is my return on investment right there? $10 made me $5K to $10K. Insane. That beats what I'm gonna make on a flip any single day. Okay? What I love about this business as well when it comes to wholesaling is that it can be scaled. I can scale my business to a company. So if you guys are here, this is pretty much my whole office. I got a little section over there, my cold calling room over there. And what we do here is we primarily focus on finding property, because all I have to do is get creative with my marketing to make money in real estate. This doesn't require me to have credit. I don't need to worry about putting no money down. I don't need a license to wholesale real estate, and I can make fast cash, guys, because that's what I'm looking for. The fast cash is going to put money in my pocket so that I can do other things with it. I can leverage both. I can wholesale a bunch of houses, and I can also cherry pick the ones that I want to flip. Now, if you're going to get into flipping, I would highly recommend that you get some wholesale deals on your belt first. Start building a portfolio and a credibility kit, because that credibility kit is what you're going to need to borrow from these people so that you can actually get into this business of flipping houses. Right here, guys, experience is needed. If you don't have the experience, find someone who does. Pay them a consultation fee to hang around with them. Go through the flipping process so that you can study how it is. Now, it's very, very straightforward, guys. Flipping houses is extremely time consuming. This right here is a full-time job. Managing several rehab teams and managing an office, managing everything that you could ever possibly need to get your flipping business off of the ground, you're looking at putting in almost 60 to 70 hours a week, guys. Literally. Because you have to make sure that your guys are on top of their job, while you can balance your own life as well, like while you're trying to balance regular life as well. So I got a wife at home and I got a son. All of that on top of my flipping business. Know that to flip a house, it requires you to have construction knowledge. I would never get into a flip if I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I'm sorry, but if I don't know material costs, if you're watching this and you don't know material costs, you don't know what it's going to cost to fix the foundation, the roof, the AC unit, the plumbing, the electrical, don't get in this yet. Find somebody who can consult you through the flipping process. Flipping, ultimately, guys, is a full-blown job, and it requires a lot of experience. Wholesaling real estate in 2019 is literally bread and butter here, guys. Low risk. And all I have to worry about is my ability to market. Grant Cardone said this thing, and I thought it was pretty epic. And what he says is that the best businesses aren't the best businesses because of the best products that they sell. Because ultimately, if you're wholesaling real estate, you're one of like hundreds of thousands of people that buy houses cash, right? The best businesses are the best known. So my success in this business is based off of my creativity when it comes to how I choose to market. All I do every single day is figure out how I can get creative here, because here is what's going to find me more deals. If you master this stuff first, wholesaling, you'll never lose money on something like this, guys, where you have to deal with a whole flip and you have a project from start to finish. Whenever I get into a flip, I use the money that I made wholesaling to get into that flip. I don't ever pay a wholesaler a wholesale fee for this because I've studied my marketing. I find my own deals, guys. So if you ask me what's better in 2019, wholesaling versus flipping, I'm going to 100% say wholesaling. Well, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to drop a link at the bottom. I'm doing one-on-one consultations on wholesaling real estate for $300. I'll teach you for an hour straight on how you can scale your real estate business and how you can figure out how to wholesale real estate. If you know nothing about it, that's completely fine, guys. I have plenty of information available to you on my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.
I want the check. Check. Ooh. I want the check.